If your mate tries setting you up on a blind date, they usually have good intentions, right? He's just your type. Good looking, great sense of humour. Yeah. Banter, joke, joke, joke. More banter, banter, banter. Joke? It is funny at first, but let me tell you, it gets real boring real fast. Let's rewind, because you do not want to miss this. I'm Izzy, and I'm 23. My mate Lisa and I were out doing a bit of retail therapy, like you do. After a few hours, Lisa suggested grabbing a couple of drinks at this new pub that had just opened up. Well, she twisted my arm with minimal effort. Fast forward, and we're sitting at a table, munching on a packet of crisps, both of us with a vodka and Coke with loads of ice. So anyway, before I go off topic, Lisa looks at me. You know that specific look your best friend gives you when you just know you are going to be asked something that will either get you in trouble, get you both in trouble, or something in between? I looked right back at her and quietly said, "Just ask. I can see it in your eyes." Lisa laughed and said, "You know me so well." Then she slides her phone across the table to show me a photo of a gorgeous guy with the most beautiful brown eyes. She knows brown eyes are my absolute weakness. She sees my jaw drop and the literal drool and jumps straight in. "Can I give him your number? He asked me to set him up on a date with one of my friends." I immediately narrowed my eyes and asked, "Okay, what is wrong with him?" She laughed and swore there was nothing wrong with him. He was just so fed up with dating apps, where half the time you think you're talking to someone you like, and the only thing they actually have in common with their profile picture is the colour of their hair. I reluctantly looked at Lisa and sighed. "Okay, fine. But if he ends up being a serial killer, I'm going to haunt you." So anyway, later that night, I was relaxing in a bubble bath when I hear a notification. It's a text from him, Paul. We ended up texting for a good 2 hours, and he had me laughing so much. I swear, at one point I laughed so hard my drink actually flew out of my nose. After texting for a couple of days, he asks if he can meet me for a drink. At this point, I was completely smitten. He was gorgeous, funny, and not forgetting, never forgetting, those brown eyes. Okay, sorry. Back to him asking for a date. His eyes really are distracting. Right, where was I? Oh, that's right. He asked if he could meet me for a drink. I, of course, said yes, sitting there with a massive grin on my face like I'd just won the lottery. Fast forward to the night of the date. I am dressed in my figure-hugging little black dress, and a literal miracle happened. My makeup was actually behaving itself. You girls know exactly what I mean by that. The eyeliner was perfect. First time on both eyes. That rarely happens. Normally, one wing is reaching for the stars. Perfect. Exactly how you want it. But the other eye? Well, it clearly didn't get the memo. But there I go, going off topic again. Like I said, makeup is on point, hair is looking good. I was happy. I felt confident that I looked my absolute best. I turn up to the pub a little early and head straight for the bar. Just as I'm giving the barmaid my order for a double vodka and Coke, Paul suddenly appears right beside me. He smiles, says, "Ooh, I'll have one of them," and smoothly hands the barmaid his card before I even had the chance to pay. We take a seat and I look at him. And oh my God, he is even more gorgeous in the flesh. I am internally screaming at myself to get a grip. Like, "Izzy, if you're not careful, you're going to end up physically drooling and put him right off." At first, he is his usual funny self. He had me absolutely in stitches. But then things started to drag. I started to notice that any time I actually tried to get to know him or ask a normal question, he would deflect and turn it into banter. And you know the exact kind of banter I mean. The kind that is no longer funny and is actually just quite insulting. I honestly don't know if he uses humour to cover up his nerves, but I was definitely not laughing anymore. And he didn't even notice. He was completely oblivious. So I decided to play him at his own game. Having decided after the billionth bad, mildly offensive joke that I was absolutely never going to see this man again, I just let out my inner sass. All that heavy sarcasm I had been politely holding back for the last hour, I just let it go. So, I finally tried to ask a normal question. I said, "So what do you actually do for work?" He just gave me this smirking look and said, "Why, you looking for a sugar daddy already? Don't worry, I make enough to keep you in fake tan and bottomless Prosecco." I looked at him, let out a massive fake laugh and said, "Oh, wow! And to think Lisa said you were only a little bit funny. That is hilarious." I swear to you, he actually took it as a genuine compliment. His chest literally puffed out. Without missing a beat, I looked him dead in the eye and asked, "So, what clothes shop do you work in?" His smirk dropped a little bit, and he looked confused. "I don't work in a shop." I just took a slow sip of my vodka and coke, shrugged and said, "Right. I guess standing in a window posing all day isn't exactly in the shop." He just sat there, looking completely puzzled for a second. You could practically hear the gears turning in his head. But then, his ego took over. He let out this low chuckle, leaned in closer, and gave me this smouldering look. He said, "Aha, I see what you're doing. You're feisty. I like that. Most girls just sit there and agree with everything I say." I looked at him over the rim of my glass and said, "Well, to be fair, most girls are probably just sitting there trying to figure out how to fake a family emergency on their phone." He laughed again. A full, genuine laugh. He actually thought I was flirting. He reached across the table, tapped his finger near my drink and said, "You are brutal. But seriously, I can tell you're already obsessed with me." I slowly put my glass down. I looked at those beautiful brown eyes that had distracted me an hour ago, and I gave him the sweetest, most deadpan smile I could manage. "Obsessed? Oh, absolutely," I said. "In the exact same way I'm obsessed with watching a car crash. I know I should look away, but the damage is just so tragic. I can't take my eyes off it." His smile finally faltered, just a little bit. He blinked, pulled his hand back and said, "Wait, are you being serious?" I just looked at him, sighed and said, "It's just such a shame." I asked him, "You know when you are given the most beautiful greeting card? The words on the front are perfect, it's got a cute picture." He moved in closer. I could see he was wondering where I was going with this, and he whispered, "Yeah?" "Well," I said, "you put it on the fire surround or the window ledge or on a cabinet where everyone can see it, and you look at it, and you smile. But then you open it, and it starts playing the most annoying tune you have ever heard in your life, and no matter what you do, it won't shut up. You close it, but no, it is still playing." He nodded enthusiastically and said, "Oh my God, yeah, they are mad. My mate got one of them. He then went on a whole tangent about how his mate actually had to hit it with a hammer just to get it to stop. I just looked at him, deadpan, and said, "Oh, so all I have to do is hit you with a hammer?" He looked completely baffled. I didn't even wait for him to process it. I just got up, grabbed my bag, and walked out, leaving him sitting there looking confused. As I was walking away, a man who was sitting at the table behind us burst out laughing. He shouted over, "Oi, mate, you do realise you are the card? I would run if I were you. I think she's going to get a hammer." When I finally got home, I called Lisa and told her everything that happened. She was mortified and couldn't apologise enough. I just laughed and told her, "If you ever try to set me up on a blind date again, I am going to buy you one of those musical cards. And I am going to hide your hammer." We both absolutely lost it. So, lesson learned. Never trust a blind date, no matter how beautiful his brown eyes are. Have you ever been on a date with a human musical card? Or had to literally spell out an insult because their ego was too big to understand it? Let me know in the comments and drop your worst blind date horror stories below. Make sure to subscribe for more dating disasters, and I'll see you in the next one.